Hey guys, everyone, welcome to the channel, and this will be the first video, and since this is a channel about comic books, the first video is just gonna be like a brief rundown of my collection. I haven't really been collecting for that long. I started around halfway through the first year of New 52, or near the end of the first year of the New 52. One of the main problems is, if you can already tell by my accent, I'm from Australia. Well, I live in Australia right now. Currently, I was born in Hong Kong. Um, it's not like America. It's pretty hard to find comic book stores. There's two main ones in Sydney. One I actually found out about like a week ago. The main one is in the city. It's called King's Comics. It's a fantastic place, actually. Really well lit. There's AC in there, which you can feel even though it's like really hot. Like in the Australian summer, you can sometimes get the staff really friendly. The only problem is, in terms of back issues, they don't really have that much. I keep hearing that inside the warehouse, they actually have a lot of back issues, and they occasionally put some out. I see them on like Facebook and stuff, putting out some older comic books, but they go pretty quickly. So in terms of collecting, you have to usually just get there the day, like when it's released, like the week it's released. Otherwise, a lot of times it will get sold out. So just going through the collection, I mainly collect Batman because he's my favorite character. I know that's kind of normal and cliched, but out of all the characters with ongoing books, Batman's probably my favorite. I really enjoy the detective aspect of him, and grew up watching uh, grew up watching Justice League, and I thought, like, I love the Justice League in general, but I thought Batman was probably the coolest one. And in the New 52, he he was his was the only story I read, mainly because the first issue I got was Batman #8, and I found like a news agency, and since like that was the first issue, I didn't know anything about New 52 Batman going in. I've only Up until then I've only read some like graphic novels about Batman, like entire stories. So I read like Long Halloween, but I was still really young back then, so I didn't remember the details or the names of characters and stuff. But it hooked me in, and then I got through the entire New 52. And then when Rebirth started, I just continued with Batman. So Batman Rebirth, this is the variant cover. I kind of regret not getting the normal one, but I got the variant instead. Batman #1, the free Batman, free comic, the Batman Day cover actually, and the normal cover. #2, #3, #4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have all the Batmans that they've released for Rebirth so far, the normal covers. In terms of story, it's fine. I mean, a lot of people are hating on the I Am Suicide right now because of Tom King's really strange like writing of the characters and how like the speech patterns and stuff. I feel like with I Am Suicide in particular, not so much with I Am Gotham. I feel like I Am Suicide would read better in a trade because I feel like having the ability, like having the entire arc already published, and you know that you can like find out the resolution of it when you keep reading, is better than waiting like 2 weeks for the next issue, because right now it's just really strange. I Am Gotham, I thought was a fine arc. It was okay starting arc. The introduction of the Gotham and Gotham Girl characters wasn't as bad as say like Harper Row, when they introduced her through New 52 run. And I felt like we got a lot of cool moments with Batman, how he affected other people. And yeah, I'll talk about Night of the Monster Men maybe in another video. That one I need to reread again because I'm still not exactly sure what happened. So the variants, I'm actually trying to collect all the variants, but it's very hard because a lot of people at King's, they have standing orders, so they just get the variants. And the variants usually come out after they do all the standing orders. So so they don't come out when the store opens. So I usually go there like in the afternoon when they've done all the orders. So and sometimes they'll all be already sold out. So I got number 4, number 6. I really like these covers because Tim Sale's probably one of my favorite artists. I really like the way he used black and white in Long Halloween, and then I found out he was actually colorblind, and I thought that was a really cool way for him to like get around his disability, not really disability, but like his lack ability to see like all the colors. Number 7, number 10. I really like number 10's cover. Number 9, I think, was the one with Bane on it, and that one just sold out as soon as it was released. I really like number 10. I really like Tim Sale's Catwoman in Long Halloween, and also in, I think, Date Night in Solo. So yeah, I really like this cover. Some of them are kind of weird, like especially 4, and I think 2 or 3, like the ones where Batman's like jumping on the city, around the city. Those are some strange covers because of like the posing, but overall they're fine. And then moving into New 52 Batman, issue 0. Overall I really enjoyed New 52 Batman. Like as a whole, I thought it was really good. I got 2 copies of Night of Owls. This one's, I think, second printing, and this one's like the first issue I found in New CNC. So before I discovered bagging and boarding, you can see it's very beat up. Then 11, because I still didn't know where a comic book store was until I like researched it. So issue 11 was the ending of Code of Owls, so I got the the trade instead to understand the story. 12, 13, I still need to get the proper cover for this. I thought this was the normal cover until I found out that it was a different one. 14, this is the Death of the Family arc. I think I have the whole arc actually. Yeah, this was actually a pretty cool arc as well. At first I didn't like it as much, but going back, I liked it because it incorporated a lot of characters in the Bat family, and also built up more of Batman's relationships with them and like how he conducted them. Then there was 18, which was during the After Requiem for the Robin. This was, I think, mainly in Detective Batman and Robin, I think. The Damian Wayne resurrection storyline, I think, was. There was 19 and 20, which I don't have a proper cover of 20 either. This was, I think, the Clayface, like, not really filler, but in between major arc story. I thought this was actually like a good story as well. Clayface is actually a really good character. I really liked him. I really like him in currently Detective Comics, actually. And I thought this arc was pretty good, and I really like these covers because it's like the old style of comic books, where the covers would be kind of like clickbait. They would like give you this very crazy statement, and then or like a crazy phrase or something. So a lot of the old ones, like where you see like 2 heroes like fighting each other, or like Superman strangling someone or something, and then you find out it's just a misunderstanding, or it's got nothing to do with it at all. So this was pretty cool. Bruce Wayne aiming a gun at Batman, or Bruce Wayne aiming a gun at someone, and you see the Batman silhouette. I thought that was a good cover. 20, and then by here you figure out it's Clayface. Then 0 year happened. I feel like waiting month to month for 0 year was a big arduous journey because it seemed to drag on forever. But I felt they did a good idea. They had a good idea with these specific covers to show like the different acts of the entire story arc, so you would know when like you were in like the first act, like the setup, and then you had like the middle part where I think like Batman's trying to get ready, and then the third one where it's like he's trying to fight the Riddler. I thought overall 0 year was a good arc, and had some really nice artworks as well, and some of my favorite covers I think were in 0 year. This was 23. I don't have 22. Then I think it was Forever Evil, so we got Villains Month. I have all of them in the holographic covers except for the Joker, because that one sold out immediately. And during this time, I wasn't really collecting comics seriously because I was still in high school. I finished my final exams a month ago actually, and like I was during this time, like there's a lot of exams, so I was like studying a lot, so I didn't have much time to go to the comic book store. So every time I go, I'll be like, all right, do they have like this month, last month, and like the month before was Batman? If they don't, then I just had to have some gaps in my collection. 24. I really like these 0 year covers because like the cover was a bit more sturdy and a bit more glossy as well sometimes, especially you can see that in 25 it's more sturdier. I really like this cover as well. It's all black, it's really cool. Then 26, 27, 28. This was, I think, just before Batman Eternal launched, and Batman Eternal was like, it was okay. I have the first trade. I felt the first entire trade, like the first, I think, third of Batman Eternal, was pretty good. But then it got a bit convoluted. 29, I really like this cover as well. 30, this was the final act. I liked how the color hues also changed. 31, I think this is my favorite cover out of all the New 52 Batman because it's like a different style of Batman, like the 0 year Batman, but also it's familiar because you also have like the cowl, and he's like doing the thing where he's like sitting or like leaning over the like a gargoyle or a statue on the high tower, but it's slightly different because you know the building is overrun. And he's got a bow and he's got ripped sleeves and he's got this traveling pack. I thought this was a really well done cover, and this was also during the Batman 75, so I think this was the time where every single book had a Batman variant cover. So yeah, 31, and then going to 32, which is still 0 year, which seems insane when you think about how long this entire arc was. The 32, 33, this was called Purple Gloves, kind of a callback to the original Golden Age Batman, his first costumes. And that was the finale. 34 was the filler story, I think, with the serial killer in the graveyard, the cemetery. This was cool because he wasn't fighting a supervillain, and he was just fighting normal crime. I thought that was cool. It was like, it's good to take a break from like the crazy supervillains every now and then because Batman's at his core is still a street level hero, so it doesn't really make sense if he's constantly fighting superpowered like madmen. He also has to take care of like normal crime. Then became Endgame, and I think during this time I had like a major exam. I think because I don't have much of this arc, but I have the first issue, which was a really cool cover because Justice League, and I thought Capullo's like style drawing, the way he drew Justice League was pretty cool. I don't have 36, 37. Yep. Then just go straight to 40. I really love 40's cover, even though this second printing you can tell by like the red hue, but I felt like I really love the cover on this one. Like it's very like classical era style. Very there's also like mythological influence in it. And I feel like in the second printing, like the red it makes the whole like artwork look much nicer with the background and also like the dragon, and also reflected in like the moon and like the trees and stuff. Then we go into Super Heavy, I think this arc is called. This is when Gordon became Batman. A lot of people don't really like this one because it was a bit strange, but I thought for a short kind of interval, like a short break, it was cool seeing like a different take of Batman. We've seen it before with during Nightfall, Prodigy, Battle for the Cowl, like different types of Batman. Most famously, we had the Grant Morrison Batman and Robin, I think, with Nightwing as Batman, and that was pretty well received. This one was kind of mixed, I think, the opinions on it. I really like this arc because different types of Batman. I'm always interested in different Batman. I think my most favorite Batman stories are usually like the Elseworld stories because they're just like a different take on the character. Gordon was pretty cool. I like how he didn't always fight in the suit because the suit I think was kind of like the weak point. It looked kind of, well, it's been nicknamed like the Bat Bunny, and it's pretty obvious why because of the ears. I thought Mr. Bloom was also a cool villain. Then go straight to 45 because I had exams. I like Gordon's batsuit as well. Here he's still smoking, I think. If you can see, he's still smoking in this one, even though they tell him not to. But yeah, I thought this was like a fine story. It wasn't like amazing, but it wasn't like horrible either. Then 46, I think this is the issue just before I think Bruce Wayne gets his memory back. Maybe not actually. Then 47, 48, this was a cool, pretty creepy cover as well. 49, I think this is when he gets his memories back. And then 50, I think, was the end of Super Heavy. 51, this was the last issue by Snyder and Capullo as a team. I think this is probably one of my most favorite issues in the run because it's like he's not doing anything in the story. So yeah, I got 51. I really like the cover as well. Made for a good, looks like a good wallpaper for like a computer or a phone. Then 52, this was like the last issue of New 52 Batman, and this was just setting up like different storylines the next team could take, and that had the annuals as well. This introduced Mr. Freeze's origin. Mr. Freeze, I think New 52 was Batman was kind of like a weak point. Took away, a lot of people say it took away like the sympathetic nature of the character because he just turned like a normal criminal. When I first read this, I thought it was pretty disturbing, especially towards the end. I thought since it was New 52 that like make new takes on the characters. I thought it wasn't bad as like a new take on a completely new take on the Mr. Freeze, so it wasn't that bad. Number 2, I think this was just him visiting Arkham. I like the cover. I really like the cover actually. Not many colors used. Number 3, I think this is one with Joker and like the guy he kept like tormenting. Yeah, not to say about this. And number 4, I actually don't even remember what happened in this annual. But yeah, those were the annuals. Ran for 4 years, 5 years actually. I think four mainly. Then I had some variant covers. This is number 37. This was the Darwin Cook month. So I think all the covers were horizontal, and they're all done in like his iconic style. I really like this one. You guys see he's taken a lot of characters, some which I think even appeared in the run. So like Harley Quinn, I don't think appeared in like New 52 Batman. I think Ventriloquist and Scarface didn't appear. Hugo Strange over there. You got Scarecrow with pumpkin bombs. Killer Croc, Bane, Firefly. Can't really tell who that one is in the background of the hood. Catwoman, Riddler. Like Riddler looks slightly different to his New 52 counterpart because he's got like I think the hair looks a bit different. Poison Ivy. Gigantic Joker head. Yeah, it's a cool cover. Then this is the Mad cover, I think, which was issue 19. I actually don't like this cover at all, but it was one of the few variants I can actually like get in store, which didn't sell out instantly, so I thought to pick it up anyway. I actually really don't like this cover at all. I don't like the Mad art style. Then was this? Oh yeah, Future's End, the holographic cover again. If I remember correctly, I think this is the one with the nightclub, maybe, with Harper Row, and then like a gigantic taser gun. I'm not sure. I thought the cover was cool. Then I read Future's End, and yeah, that happened. Still a cool cover nonetheless. Then the other Rebirth book I got was Trinity. Mainly for this one because I really like the cover, and Trinity's been like a fantastic read so far for all 3 issues. Yeah, I'm really digging the old Superman, I guess you can call him, interacting with the other members of the New 52 Trinity. So yeah, then we have some Marvel stuff I read during Marvel Now. I just found myself not really favoring Marvel that much, just because of their characters and how they changed it a bit, like with the status quo and like the diversity of the cast of their core characters. And the Avengers rosters, like, it's never been like the one I like. So I always like Captain America though. because I feel like it's like the JSA in a way. Like he's very patriotic. It's a very olden style superhero. So I picked up the run. I read the run of the Marvel Now. It wasn't bad at all actually. So I've got number 1, and then number 25 for some reason. Number 1, 2, 3, 4. This is all during when he's in Dimension Z, I think it is, with Arnim Zola. 5, 6. Yeah, he's still in Dimension Z. 7, 8. I think this is the last one actually. No, it's not. This is when Silver Sable, I think, appears. Or like one of the SHIELD agents appears. Yeah, one of the SHIELD agents appears. I don't really remember who appeared, but I think she like died. Supposedly died. 9, 10. This is the last issue, I think. And then this really made me annoyed because issue 11 had a different like layout to the cover. Well, all the other ones had like the red strip going down the bottom. This one was just like, this one felt more like a variant to me than like the normal cover. But yeah, issue 11. Then 13 straight away. I think this was the one with Nuke, and like this was kind of a sad storyline actually, because Nuke was just overly patriotic. He was kind of crazy from like his serum. 13, 14. I didn't actually even like bag these at all. Then it was 15, which is I think the conclusion of that one, and there was like a fallout between the country that Nuke was like trashing and America, if I remember it correctly. There's 16, which is the beginning of Iron Nail and like the bubble guy. 17, everyone gets trapped in like dreams. 18, I think this was kind of a weird story actually. Like I remember at one point it's like Nick Fury was like back in the old days again, and suddenly he was like trying to fight people. And then Iron Nail, then that 20, 21, 22. I think at this point I was just buying it just for sake of completing it. Then there was this one, March to Axis, which I think is just setting up another crossover or something, or an event. 24, and then 25, and then it became Falcon, Captain America, and then I stopped. After I got like, I think I bought like 2 issues of that one, then I stopped because I had no interest in Falcon being Captain America. Oh, more Rebirth. Yeah, this is during Night of the Monster Man. I got the variant edition for Detective Comics. 941, this is the part 3 Monster Man. And part 5, this one is Nightwing. This is also the variant. This is the only cover that had left actually. I would have preferred the regular cover. Then just other miscellaneous stuff I've picked up. I have mentioned how hard it is collecting comic books in Australia, due to there being not many comic book stores. So I got all these in London on holiday once. Found them in a charity shop, an Oxfam. So I got Batman Night of Vengeance, the first issue. This was the Flashpoint Batman. It's like 3-part miniseries. It was a good miniseries overall. I liked the different takes on the characters. Then some of like the UK style, like the collector's editions of Wolverine and Gambit, which is like just a bunch of stories with them. Convergence, I got the Batman and Robin one. This is where they team up with Red Hood, which was cool. It is the red-headed Jason Todd. I like both New 52 and the previous, and like pre-Flashpoint Jason Todd. Some people don't really like the New 52 one because he's just too watered down or something. There's some issue zeros. This is I think during like 0 hour, like just after it I think. This is Detective Comics 0, Legends of the Dark Knight. I think it's Shadow of the Bat as well. Batman. I don't have Shadow of the Bat actually. Random issue of Batwoman I found. This is the holographic cover for Grayson for Future's End. Holographic cover for Batwoman for Future's End. And then part 2 and 3 of Battle for the Cowl, because I couldn't find part 1. I like these covers even though none of these are worth much, just because they made a gigantic picture. And then the remaining stuff I had was Batman Europa, like all 4 issues of it. I actually liked the story. It was like a cool mini series, and it took place outside of Gotham, which is always cool. Batman Endgame, this is the director's cut, and it was interesting seeing how the way that they wrote the comic book and like the art direction behind it as well. DC Universe Rebirth, yeah, pretty self-explanatory. They said you had to get this book, so I got the book. Nightwing number 5, which is part 2 of the Monster Man. This is a standard cover. And then some All-Star Batman. I dropped the series, not because it was weird and like kind of bad, but because of I decided to only commit fully to one book for the sake of saving money, because I was still a student at the time and I didn't have time to get like a full-time job. And also number 2, there's the Jock variant. Also because you can see, yes, it's $9.50 for a book because this is slightly expensive, and also the exchange rate from Australia, from like the American dollar to Australian dollar, is not always the best. So yeah, this has been my collection. Yes, it's very Batman oriented. So yeah, thank you guys for watching, and yeah, see you next time.